examination materials. The commissioner, who was represented by the ministry's permanent secretary, Alhaji Shafiu Rashid, however, admitted that there were some few lapses. She assured that such error would be avoided in future exercise. On the criteria for the Court of Mark, Mujata said this will be determined by the management of the ministry at the appropriate time. Ogun State government has assured market men and women at Farmers Ashiru Market at Berukuta of necessary support to boost and enhance their income. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Steve Ikpiniwa, will lead his team to the farmers market, stated this during a visit to the market. Yusuf Gani's report is presented from our studio.
The visit to the farmers market, Ashiru Abeokuta, by a team from the Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture was aimed at ensuring farm produce are sold at reasonable rates and to create a conducive environment for traders and consumers to operate. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Steve Ikpiniwa, says all necessary materials to improve farm produce will be made available for farmers at subsidized rates, saying the traders must realize the purpose of the establishment of the farmers market in the state if they want them to work.
The market that is available at Ashiru here is well patronized to ensure that our farmers have a place to dispose of their goods immediately, especially those perishable ones, pepper, vegetables and so on, so that is to encourage the farmer down the farm.
Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Agriculture, Mr. Idowu Fabajo, reiterates government's efforts at improving the agricultural sector for socio-economic development of the state.
And all the challenges they are going through, we are going to look into it as a ministry and get back to them and see that we resolve all the challenges that are facing. Farmers market and make things easier for the citizen to pay.
Market men and women at the farmers market, Ashiru Abeokuta, expressed satisfaction and shared their views on what government needs to do to enhance their business.
We are very, very appreciative with the Senator Ebekule amongst government to look at our market to help us, to give us more important good ahead, to increase the place for us, because the people for our north, they know that we have a market like that.
The government has done so much to have put a place, the farmers market at Ashiru. We approach government that they have given us approval. We are grateful to the government for doing that.
When you take a kg of our own tomato to the local one, grind it, the difference will show itself.
The team is expected to visit farmers markets in other central districts of the state.
The Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NASIMA, has commended the executive arm of the federal government, particularly the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, for signing the 2017 appropriation bill into law. A statement by the president of the association, Iyalude Alaba Lawson, described the passage of the budget as a significant milestone in the implementation of the Economic and Growth Plan program envisioned by the current administration. The association in the statement said the processes leading to passage of the budget was smoother than that of 2016 and recent years, with little or no allegations of errors in the fiscal document. According to the statement, signing of the budget seems to have been delayed because of disagreements over deductions by the National Assembly in the draft document. It is crucial for the concerned arms of government to ensure that the process of budget passage is fast-tracked while observing the required due diligence to ensure a workable budget. Empower Volunteer Call, the federal government tool for National Social Investment Program, has opened for its second phase. The second phase is to enlist 300,000 candidates, graduates, as online application opens between June 13th and July 13th, 2017 for applicants of 18 to 35 years of age. Charity James in this special report says the man in charge in Ogun State has pointed out that the volunteer program is for 2 years. Our report.
Large-scale skills development, an eminent social and economic imperative, lies at the heart of the federal government's 2017 to 2020 development plan, which is the Nigeria Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. It is to identify and prioritize the large-scale development of relevant skills for young citizens as key drivers in economic growth.
We designed a program to intervene in specific sectors of the economy. So whether it's the education, health, and agriculture. So it is something that I have no doubt in my mind the impact this program would have in our sectors. But then what is interesting is we're looking at that impact from bottom up. And that's why we have deployed them based on community-level intervention. Empower
of Buhari's administration is a volunteering program that places agile and unemployed young Nigerians, especially graduates, on a path to self-actualization while developing themselves and the nation. The first phase engaged and deployed 200,000 young Nigerians in schools, healthcare centers, in agriculture development centers under the categories of N-Teach, N-Health, and N-Agro.
200,000 of our unemployed graduates nationally were selected as beneficiaries of the Empower voluntary call, and we were deployed across 36 states and Federal Capital Territory. In Ogun State here, we had 5,799 MPVC members deployed to us, and we have since conducted verification exercise on them and deployed them across the various categories of Empower. And they're all gainfully employed in Ogun State at the moment.
Satisfied with the first phase, the federal government has opened the line for the second phase of Empower Volunteer Corps for graduates of National Diploma, Higher National Diploma, NCE, BSc, and other graduate certificates.
They will be required to upload electronic copies of their credentials. Secondly, they need to be between the ages of 18 to 35 years of age. People need to get their bank verification number. They need to have it to hand as part of the application process.
Empower is a paid volunteering program of 2-year duration as shortlisted graduates will undertake their primary tasks in public establishment across 36 states of Nigeria.
I understand there's an optimized version of the website, which is apply.empower.gov.ng. Yeah, that's optimized version of the website. It's much quicker out there.
Eligible applicants are to visit Empower portal, read and understand all relevant information, apply where applicable, using correct information as application exercise closes on the 13th of July 2017. Charity James, OGTV News.
Developing a well-planned roadmap for digital switchover in Nigeria will help fast-track infrastructural development in the country. The Director General National Broadcasting Commission, Ishaq Modibo Kawu, stated this at a media briefing on the switchover to digital television in Lagos. Nigeria is expected to conclude its migration from analog to digital broadcasting by June 17, 2017, a process popularly referred to as digital switchover, DSO. Nigeria had hitherto missed out on 2 previous deadlines in 2012 and 2015. However, facts on ground indicate that this may not be realistic. For instance, experts say there are still issues around set-top boxes, manufacturing, lack of awareness, and poor funding. The Director General National Broadcasting Commission told newsmen that the country has made giant strides in digital switchover in order to achieve a seamless transition from analog to digital terrestrial television in Nigeria.
Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is what the ITU expects us to do.
The Director General also spoke on the country's readiness to create the much needed awareness on the process.
in those places, so people in those communities can be more aware of what we're going to do. And then moving forward, we put a lot more resources into nationwide publicity.
Eventually, GoTV, StarTimes will have to migrate to the transmission network of any of the signal distributors of their choice.
The National Broadcasting Commission also advised Nigerians not to be skeptical about the reality of the transition as the pilot angels and subsequent rollout in Abuja prove that the process is on course. The House of Representatives says it will accelerate the passage of the petroleum industry bills. Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs Abdulrazak Namdars said this while briefing newsmen shortly after the legislators posed 3 petroleum industry bills for second reading.
The Speaker has actually announced a composition of an ad hoc committee that will work on the public hearing of this very all-important bill. This House has adjourned to 4th of July. We have to go on 2 weeks break, which will cover up to Salah break, and then return on the 4th of July to continue with the business of legislation.
On the foreign scene, British security officials believe that hackers in North Korea were behind the cyber attack that crippled parts of the NHS and other organizations around the world last month. Britain's National Cyber Security Center, NCSC, led the International Investigation Security Resources, SIB, have told the media that NCSC believes that a hacking group known as Lazarus launched the attack. The U.S. Computer Emergency Response Team has also warned about Lazarus. The same group is believed to have targeted Sony Pictures in 2014. The same group is also thought to have been behind the theft of money from banks. In May, ransomware called Vanucre swept across the world, locking computers and demanding payment for them to be unlocked. The NHS in the UK was particularly badly hit. Officials in Britain's National Cyber Security Centre, NCSC, began their own investigation and concluded their assessment in recent weeks. And in the world of sport, a floating swimming pool is to be the centerpiece of Liverpool's bid to host the 2022 Commonwealth Games. The 50-meter pool structure with seating for 5,000 spectators would be built on the water near Albert Dock. The bid, which also includes events at both Everton's existing and proposed new stadiums, would see some events held in Greater Manchester. Liverpool faces competition from Belgium to be England's official bid for the Games. And as we go on the news, immortality is to live your life doing good things and leaving your mark behind. And that concludes the AM News. After the Yoruba version, I'll be right back for the newspaper headliners. Until then, stay tuned.